What's that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank
You
you.
both have to have it.
Yeah, but you will not get no charge,
No, it's
right?
because it's.
So if I'm away and I'm in South America
long
and
as
I
you-
call
as
someone
long- wait a
else
minute.
who has it.
As long as you have Wi-Fi.
Might check the people behind you
I
too.
will. Oh, I'm sorry.
I got
I just wanted to tell you
I got
first.
it. Because when I go away, they come in.
We'll see if she has some extras.
You know?
I think you.
What's that?
As far as I can tell.
Oh, we do have any guests today.
How much?
We don't have any guests.
I can't guarantee that.
Oh, sure.
I can't, Charlie and the boys,
And
Reagan's in Baltimore,
but you have Melissa Cruppen here, who is
Melissa who?
Cruppen, K-R-U-P-I-N.
She's our Danny's,
assistant.
yeah, I got you. Cameras on, folks.
That means we're supposed to be smiling.
We just discussed that.
Yes.
Dazzle them with your footwork.
I've been, yes, my dad and I, we just had two grins.
Hi, Kitty, it's broadband.
Tell them how old you are, 1 or 2 or 3 or 4.
Yes, I have to say hi to Kitty because she doesn't know one committee from the other sometimes.
Well, they all look alike.
All right.
No, no problem. You just wanna move down so we can make more room if people come, I hope we're having.
So
guests.
far, we have no representatives from,
Well, we're hoping.
other than Yuko.
We'll discuss that
Okay,
and the possible reasons for that.
oh,
I was expecting Danny's assistant
She will be here.
oh,
to brief us on the new discount packages. Not my principal concern. New is good. So, but you understand. But I don't see them.
Well, it's still 2 minutes to
I
11.
got 2 minutes, I got you. Oh, yeah, Kara will find you. Kara will find you.
You wanna pick my nose?
what is this news?
Marcel will
It's going to
report
explain this to us,
on
right?
that,
Okay,
and you can question him.
oh, I will. I will.
Uh, Okay, we got a couple of minutes.
Do we find out what we want anything on this returning stuff yet? Although we have all the time. Returning.
Oh, well, we're gonna
Yes,
discuss that.
Oh, we're gonna, oh, I didn't even look at that yet, sorry, David.
It's on the agenda.
It sure is, thank you.
Marcel may have some input on that.
Oh, here they come.
Hey,
No.
No, you are not late.
we're early. We're all waiting for your arrival, Charlie.
Good to see you.
And Melissa.
Surprised they haven't called you up somewhere to do hurricane repair or something.
No, I'm yours.
Alright.
Can't take it anywhere.
No, no, I'll get that.
You're in the hot seat now, kid.
The Trump thing.
No.
Alright,
Just take the
okay,
Yeah, laptop.
you're gonna want to, yeah, just do the other end. There you go. I don't know if it'll screw up the recording or not.
No,
Shouldn't.
no, you don't want laptop.
Alright, I think all our guests are here. Welcome.
Hold on, I gotta get this set up here.
No, you go ahead, I'm gonna.
It is on laptop.
Yeah, I know, but I don't think you want that because you're still showing,
Well, I think I'm on the wrong input, you're on the wrong cable.
Probably,
yeah.
wrong input.
It shouldn't really impact the recording, just
No,
do
it's not.
another input.
No, he's not, he just wants to put his laptop on
Right.
there. It's not gonna do anything to the recording.
Go in the secondary one.
Okay, please be looking over the minutes. Will the broadband committee please come to order? Look over the minutes, please. We may hear more from Atlantic Broadband on this, I don't know. I've been back and forth with Danny Gonzalez and Marcel. We had a phone call. It was a very nice phone call. There are new packages being offered, and I think we'll hear about them today. But I was assured that telephones have one principal fault. They're verbal, unless you have a recorder going. But I am assured that this indoor Wi-Fi fee is gone.
Correct.
Now, I tried to get Danny to make sure there's no linkage between these new packages and this fee. Danny continues to talk about a wireless mesh network. I thought you might all be amused by this handout. Try to understand, we have some very knowledgeable tech people here. Wireless mesh networks are things they build in West Palm Beach and Beijing and Moscow and Leningrad and New Delhi, and they cover cities. The idea of a wireless mesh network in a 1,000 square foot apartment is ludicrous. Maybe you wanna locate a wireless router, midpoint of the apartment, just so no fees come along with this. I mean, I have a Comcast modem.
I got it.
It's their standard DOCSIS 3.1. I need no boosting, it talks to my printer wirelessly. I can sit in my living room 40 feet away, and it hears my laptop with the wireless card, no trouble. So I don't know where Danny's coming up with this wireless mesh network concept. This is, you have one?
I do.
Yeah, so, you know, it's nice to toss these terms out, just so no additional fees come along with it.
Well,
right? We had a lovely deal and it helped get you guys the contract. $21.99, 100 megabit internet, TiVo. Now suddenly it's become a $40 a month deal. When you add in $8 for modem rental, well, we can get around that, we can buy the modem, and $10 this fee, this bizarre fee. You have no idea how this upsets some people.
Yes, and we're aware of it, and per your conversation with Danny, that fee is no longer,
But we need something from your management chain in writing.
yes, we will have it, they're all up at a management meeting in Quincy. So, I know that we had handed out and we talked about it to about 1,000 residents that showed up at the town hall.
You're gonna reprint it.
They're gonna be redone, we're gonna, starting with the town halls that we're doing on the 15th, we'll be reintroducing the new packages, they're at a different price point. I can go over, what they are now from what they were, but the $17.99 package, the internet, that was the 25 meg, that now includes Wi-Fi, and it's just the $8 modem rental. That's
Okay.
in addition to that. Same with the $21.99 package, that's just includes Wi-Fi, and then now it will include, you just have to pay the $8 modem rental.
Yeah, I would not be able to sleep tonight if I did not opine. We could all argue about this. $8 for modem rental is a little high, but I don't know offhand what the other providers are charging. Last time I looked, I thought Comcast was around $5, but I'm not sure, you know?
Yeah, they're more than 5.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're like 8
But
to 10.
that's not the question, the question is, the purchasing from you, if I recall, is how much?
Maybe, I think it was 200 and some,
It was
219,
219,
but I.
That's what I was told, but if you do research, go ahead, Ken.
No, well, that's for a gateway. We're talking, we're not just talking about a modem, they're gonna rent us a gateway.
The same gateway that we had, that we
Right.
were showing you during those town
Yes.
halls.
Now, I have an issue with the difference of what you guys are saying at the meeting and what's on your website.
Okay,
All right, on your website, it says, our modems come with an 8-hour battery backup included. That's what it says on your website, for people that get a telephone with you. It says battery backup included.
right, in the new gateways that we are now issuing, that is not,
So why does it still say that on your website? If I go to your website, it says included.
that I'd have to check, I'm not in charge of the website.
All right, but-
So-
But, so you're talking two different languages. If somebody just goes to the
Right.
website, they say it's included. Somebody goes to a meeting and he says it's extra.
Correct, the gateways that are now that we are issuing across the board, the 8-hour battery backup is not included for phone service.
Another issue that I have at the meetings, you guys say that you should have a DOCSIS 3.1 modem gateway. On your website, I have 2 pages of listings of your modems. You got 60 listed on here. There's only one DOCSIS 3.1 out of those 60.
Mhm.
And you're recommending any one of these 60. And at the meetings, you're telling people you
That is-
have to have a 3.1.
For anything, for 100 meg or higher, you have to have a 3.1.
Do you know that DOCSIS 3.0 is up to 1 gigabit per second? It handles 1 gigabit. 3.1 handles 10 gigabit. So you're telling us that 100 gigabit can't be worked on a DOCSIS 3.0. All other service providers use a DOCSIS 3.0 and they get much more than 100.
Yeah, I mean, I know the previous provider that I worked for anybody that got, I believe it was over 100 meg, they needed a 3.1.
I have Comcast right now, I'm getting 150 with a DOCSIS 3.0 modem.
Okay.
I think that possibly software upgrades are available, but obviously you can't bring something in here that's incompatible with your own signal.
Of course you can, but I'm saying that they're saying that there's 60 modems on here, DOCSIS 3.0, that are compatible with their system. Either they have to change their website or change what they're telling people.
That's, I haven't seen that, but
I took this right off the
No,
website.
I believe you did. I just, honestly, I haven't even seen our website because that's not what I do, but that's wrong, okay? Our network is a 3.1 network, okay, and it's
But it's
something-
backward compatible.
It's something to do with the frequencies where we send our signal, okay? So just
So it's,
because-
all of these are IPv6
No,
compatible.
I understand that, but you're not gonna put a 3.0 modem on our network and have it work properly, I can tell you. Because we've already had to pull them all out, because they weren't working properly. Every customer we have has a 3.1 modem. I can't go into particulars, tell you why, but it's something that's frequency specific to 3.1 compared to 3.0. And
In
we can-
addition, we were supposed to get from Regan a list of modems, and he has not gotten that to us yet. That will be compatible with the.
There aren't that many 3.1s that are available today.
Well, most companies don't even provide just pure 3.1 like we do. Comcast is both 3.0 and 3.1. Okay, we're absolutely 3.1 and not 3.0. We've removed all that.
Well,
From
I
our
mean,
network.
if you have 3.1, you're still backward compatible to 3, to 2, and to 1.
It has something to do with the frequencies where we're sending our data.
You're backward compatible, but the speed goes down with each one.
That's what happens.
I can get you specifics on it from Julio, okay? Have him
Okay.
send you guys something so you can understand why you need a 3.1 modem, okay? I can't tell you what it is because I don't know what the answer is, but.
All right,
I have a
Barbara,
question. I have a question, Melissa. On the packages, a lot of people, they don't understand, they call it a landline, but we know it's not really a landline like they think it is,
It's not a copper landline.
You know what I mean.
Mhm.
But if anybody wanted to get your phone, they also have to get a modem, am I correct?
Correct, so if they
So in
took,
other words, instead of being $25, let's round it off, $25, they would have to add another 8, which would be actually, because I want them to compare apples to apples, would be $33 for the phone, am I correct? Plus taxes and everything else. Does that $3 and 50?
3.25.
3.25, high internet network
Network
recovery.
recovery fee.
the recovery fee.
That's if they take our internet service with phone.
That's if they take internet service with the phone, but they need the modem if they take the phone, am I correct? It's still on the SDP box.
Correct, but they're not, if they're just taking phone service and not taking internet. So if they're taking phone, they have the $8 modem rental, the gateway modem rental,
Right.
but they're not they will not get internet access
Okay,
with
so
that.
if they get internet and the phone and the $8, what I'm trying to figure out is, cause I looked at this package when you first brought it out with Danny and I was appalled, and I know you're changing it. But for $22, the $21.99 package, what I happen to think is a good deal, plus the $8, right, would be $30,
Correct.
okay? And $3.25 on top of it, plus taxes.
Correct.
Okay, I just want people to know, you know, some people, they budget themselves in this, and I want them to know exactly their cost factor.
Okay.
Okay.
So, looking at those 4 packages that week, I can go over all of the new packages, but as far as those 4 bundles, which we think most of the residents, based on so far the town halls, seem to be what they're leaning, leaning towards, because they want internet, they
Right,
want
yeah.
TiVo, they have more than one television in their home, so that's what some of those packages, so like the $49.95 package, that first one that's on there. Excuse
Will
me.
be big.
Alright, hold on, let's not launch into this, we'll get into all of this. Are there any issues with the minutes?
Yeah.
Alright, the minutes will be accepted as presented. I think before we get into all these new packages, which is obviously gonna take some time,
Yeah.
why don't we hear the progress report? And that would be
Thank you.
Marcel.
Good morning. I have been meeting with Charlie because most of the progress now is not as visible. Because the construction and the majority of the conduit within the Century Village, vast majority, like you're well over 95% is installed. He is still working on finalizing the note cabinet locations. You're, out of the 69 cabinets, you're probably very close to 60 installed.
65.
65. That's a big jump, that's a big jump in 1 week.
He's working hard.
And the majority of the coax from the node cabinets to the individual buildings has been installed and pulled, not spliced yet, but installed. And that's very close to 100% as well. The fiber is in process now, and there's a picture of a big spool in my narrative there of how much fiber is going in. And I prepared a short video here, not a video, a display that's on screen now of the areas within the village where fiber is already pulled in the ground. There are splicing crews here, but they have not made that much progress at this point.
Now, just one point. I'm getting stories on both sides of the issue that some of the Atlantic broadband subs are not being allowed access to the village. Is this true?
Just on the weekend, this is the first time it's happened, was this last weekend. Security wouldn't let them in.
Alright,
It's
so
the splicers that were there, it's not on the
make sure you let Eddie know and he'll fix that problem, but I understand there can be an issue. Someone comes and perhaps speaks only Spanish, has no ID card, has no identification, no marking, and says, I'm here to work.
Well, actually, it's just work.
Yeah, work.
We don't know what that means.
So maybe they need some kind of Atlantic broadband ID of some
It's
sort.
always been,
They're supposed to have it.
you're supposed to have some that says Atlantic broadband on their shirt. If they don't, they have it on the truck, one way or the other, they get in. And when they show up without any of those advantages, we're kind of stuck.
No, and I appreciate you not letting them on the property because they may not work for me.
Oh, boy.
They may be taking stuff away.
I mean, You know, they could be.
Good job, Ed.
Way to go, Ed.
We do try.
Alright, but Lord
I
knows,
got the emails this week. I've already sent the contractors an email and told them to fix that.
we don't want to block any valid contractors, but, you know.
Yeah.
Alright,
There will be no machine work here on the weekends whatsoever, okay? I agreed with, Donald on that a long time ago, okay? But the splicers, the cable pullers, the guys doing quiet work, you know, if you can allow them here, it's gonna help us to get,
Yeah, of
you know,
course.
through this
Why
thing.
not?
Shouldn't be a problem.
alright, go ahead. Bingo.
The splicing is underway. You may have seen some of the large spools. I've got a picture of one I can show you. It's in the package I just distributed. It's this one. Trying to enlarge it right now. And
This is
that's
fiber
fiber.
splicing,
that's fiber. It's not splicing. They're just pulling it into the conduits.
alright.
And I had a guy stand beside it just to give you an idea of the size of these spools.
He's a midget, isn't he?
And it came up this morning, somebody was asking me a question as to what it looks like. There's a close-up of the fiber. And more importantly, the last one on the right says made in the USA, which is one of the things Charlie told us, that he would be making sure that we do not get Chinese fiber.
This proves it.
It would prove
Given the tariff situation, that was a good decision.
And at any rate, the progress is moving along very well. The Gantt chart that you see here shows them ahead of schedule, not as far as they have been, but they are definitely ahead of schedule. The only difference is in this first round, because they had to wait for the backbone conduit to get installed completely. They couldn't start pulling until all the conduits were in. So that's this line not being quite up to date here. All these bars are gonna be the progress of the drop installations in every unit. So when the splicing is completed over here, then they're gonna let the system burn for a while, test it, make sure it's configured and optimized at their data centers and head end. And then they'll be making appointments, and that's where Melissa is gonna be jumping in.
You mean you're going to light up the fiber? What do you mean by burn in?
They're
We
gonna-
let
That
the-
has a meaning to me in circuit, go
Anytime
ahead.
we turn an amplifier on, a node, okay, we give it a time to operate on its own. We have power to it, we have light to it, it's putting out RF, we call that a burn-in period.
How long is that?
No, it's probably gonna be about a month, we're gonna do that here, maybe 3 weeks. It's gonna be gradual, cause we'll actually start turning nodes on before the end of this month and start optimizing them. Keep in mind now, my goal is to get your clubhouse on as soon as possible, okay?
First, right.
Well, I don't know if it'll be first, but it's gonna be
okay.
as soon as possible. I need some data where I'm working over there. So that may be the
What
first one
kind
I
of
turn on.
data what data do you need?
Data, internet. I have an office here and I don't have any internet.
Oh.
Oh, no. Hey, I know.
So
some-
that's important.
Comcast
I have a hotspot that's about this big around, it gives me
It's only
like
$27 a
250.
minute.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll send it to
Shirley?
you. Yes,
Really,
ma'am.
I know a guy I can have
You know
talk
a
to you
guy.
about that.
Yeah, but anyway, the clubhouse will probably be, will be
Never
on
lit
first.
up that little building. Is there
Cause it's up in the
storage
front
shed?
of the building, up in the front of the property, so.
Maybe we could send a radio wave over there.
I'm okay.
He's
I don't
gonna
know.
set
I'm
it
okay
up.
with
He's
it.
gonna set it
I've
up.
got a hot,
Promise.
You got a hotspot on your phone.
Sure he does.
I've got a hotspot on phone, I've got an
Right.
external
Alright,
hotspot, we're
before-
okay.
Before we go to Melissa, are there any questions for Marcel?
No,
I do,
go ahead.
okay. I know this came
You
up
know your
before,
question.
and I know you said you were working on it. And you mentioned the last time at the meeting about returning of the equipment. Now, we've had a meeting at the staff meeting discussing this week.
Or
And
just
what,
under new business?
on new business, okay, we'll wait till new business,
Yeah,
okay.
there's a plan cooking,
That's what I'm waiting for you
it's cooking,
to say something about.
but at the moment, it's
Yeah, well, half-baked doesn't work.
Simmering.
alright.
Ken, are you gonna be at home after we leave here?
Well, if you wanna go back, by there, I see you had a cabinet there and you took it away.
It was sitting on the ground.
Yeah,
they
looks
just,
like it was too big.
It was repossessed.
we have an issue there. I
Okay,
wanna walk you
You
through
better
it,
talk to
okay?
him.
Alright,
That's the only place we have an issue, is that one.
Oh, Bill.
we had some strange complaints, but I don't even listen to them. Oh, this cabinet's too close to my
Donald.
porch, a criminal's gonna creep in, give me a break,
I address that.
give me a headache.
There was one of those that Charlie resolved yesterday.
Yeah, and some of these complaints are ludicrous.
Well, that complaint was really because no one ever spoke to the man, because when Donald and I were going around,
Well, let's not
we
even
knocked
go
on the
there,
door, he
yeah,
wasn't
right,
home.
yeah.
And never got a hold of him,
Don't
we
mention
decided to put the
anything.
cabinet there, so that's
You're
resolved
on
though.
TV.
I have a picture of a cabinet on the right and a power supply for on the left. There are not many power supplies in the village, because most of the cabinets get their power from a building or some other source within their network. Go ahead.
I have a question. I don't know anything about this here stuff, but see that larger one? It has a little cement pad there.
That's
Well-
the power supply.
Okay, but if there is a cement pad near your house that has nothing on it, are one of those going on it?
No, ma'am,
Oh,
all these
okay.
are already
I just wanna
installed
make
on
sure
the
you didn't
property.
block my view.
But that
No, I'm
cement
kidding,
pad
I'm
that's
kidding.
near your house
Yeah, I know what
is
you
that deep.
She's kidding.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but not really.
Don't worry, I know. I had found out before, don't worry.
You said something and it flew by, and I need to kind of put a little light on it. Some of
Yeah.
these things are powered off the building's power supply, did you say?
Absolutely
Yeah.
not.
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
where
My
that came
mistake.
from.
My mistake.
Separate power
I heard
supply,
that.
yeah.
Every one of
Better
these
define that.
are wired to a transformer. It's one of the green boxes that are out there in front of everybody's, or some of the buildings. It's separate from everyone else's power. It's permitted and licensed and account set up through FPL. We're permitted through Palm Beach County on
I
all
got
the
you.
wiring, okay, so nothing's wired from a building on this property anywhere, okay? There are 12 of these power supplies on the property, even though there's 69 nodes, we kept them to a minimum, and they're all over the place, so, but they're in very easy to get to locations, so they're not hidden behind anything or, back behind buildings, some of them are between buildings and that kind of stuff,
Yeah,
so.
So
that's
this
real,
is
I
finished here, we go over and sign your building up and put it on his system.
Well, who would think of such a
Immediately
thing?
after this,
Uh,
Ed's got 2 at his house, so.
all right, Stuart?
Yeah, you mentioned the
You'll see-
word,
You'll see there's a meter cam.
you
from
use the
Fort
word
White Mountain
complaint,
on
so
it.
I'd
One
like
at a
to
time, folks.
pass one on to you.
Oh, gosh.
I got a phone call from Oxford 200 where they had to remove the road bumps and then they replaced them. But in doing so, they didn't leave the space for water drainage, so the water is backing up.
It's not my issue. It's the water company's issue.
But the bumps, when they were put, are supposed to have a space
The
between.
water company put the bumps in
Okay,
because the pipe got damaged because they didn't locate it properly.
Okay.
We called them. They dug the road up, they repaired their pipe, they put the speed bumps back. They didn't do it properly.
That's
Okay.
it.
That's been a couple of months, honestly, and Donald
I
didn't
know,
notify
he's
them.
not here and I got a call from a resident that lives right in front of it.
And the water's backing up.
Yeah, and I had no answer.
Oh.
And I said, we're having a meeting today, so here I am mentioning this, so now I just go like this, move on.
No, Stu, Stu,
That's right.
He doesn't hear.
Stu, make sure Donald is.
Yes, I know, I'm gonna tell him when he comes back.
Alright,
We just spoke about it again last week, Donald and I did, because he and I have been out there together. I've been out there without him, we've talked on the phone, then we met on it again, so Donald's really aware of it, he's already notified the water company.
Donald is in New
Okay.
York and he may be delayed depending on what this hurricane does. Alright. Anything else from Marcel?
Not at this point.
No, 40.
Nice try.
Alright.
I got something for her.
Oh,
We're not,
okay.
we're not
I'm
up
just
to
waiting.
that.
This Marcel or
Yeah.
Melissa?
Marcel.
Go ahead.
put it on camera. I think you guys are way ahead of schedule. Can you tell us, this committee, how far ahead of schedule you think that you are?
Well, I'm only reporting with the information and what I see. All the construction should be done and all the splicing should be done by the end of this calendar year. You're gonna have a period of time where not much is visible because it's all happening digitally.
Alright,
So we're, from the point of view of finishing the project in time for the end of the Comcast contractual period. Melissa is starting to set appointments and we'll be doing in-unit installs beginning the first week of February. And they're gonna be putting probably as many crews as they need to keep the production rate going. I have seen where Atlantic Broadband does as many as 7 units a day, but that's in a high-rise condo. Here they have to move the trucks around, get material, run the drop. They'll be putting in as many crews as they need to maintain the production rate and have everything done by June.
it seems like there's a
Correct me
lot
if
of,
I'm wrong.
No, that's correct, and that's obviously for all the residents that are here, I mean, obviously that are snowbirds
seems like
or.
there's a lot of moving parts. 7 units a day can't be right.
No.
It's not even close.
Can't
Not even
take
close.
7,000 days to,
We're gonna be talking 100 units a day,
That sounds more like it.
okay, or
Well, I
better.
said per crew, they're gonna put a lot of crews in.
Alright, I'm assuming, but I'm not hearing warm and fuzzy. You two guys talk to each other on occasion?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
As much as I could stand.
Yeah, okay. Marilyn,
I don't know who to point this to, but are you going to continue with the town hall meetings for each of the associations?
We don't know.
Well, the town halls are starting back up on the 15th.
No,
town halls will start up on the 15th, pending our receipt in writing for an absolute assurance that there will be no indoor Wi-Fi fee for the duration of this contract.
As well as a price list of all the additional services.
the meetings have been canceled.
Meetings have been canceled
Okay.
as of now. Now, I agreed with Danny, pending receipt of the death of this fee in writing.
Okay.
I don't know if Danny's high enough on the chain to do that for us.
He is.
This has to come from a management level.
No, he is, he's the director of customer operations, he's working very closely
Right.
with
I
Lizzie.
mean, Mr.
and-
Shea has been interestingly silent. I had a call yesterday from Liz Mickelson,
Mhm.
4:30, I tried to call her back this morning. The message was this number is unavailable.
They're in meetings in Quincy, and then most of them are traveling today.
But the answer to your question, pending receipt in writing of the elimination of this interior Wi-Fi fee.
Let's say it goes through the way we want it and the way the contract had said. Does that mean that the buildings like Chatham, our area, which is Chatham South. Our meeting was supposed to be on October 15th. Does that mean it will start for Chatham at that time, or will it revert it back?
Again,
No,
if we
if-
receive this assurance in writing, the schedule will be reinitiated. Don't wait till the last microsecond.
No, I will be following up
Alright.
soon after here.
Okay,
You-
now,
Can I ask? First of all, I wanna ask, if someone has a monitor on them, okay, emergency,
okay.
medical alert,
Mhm.
And uses the.
does it work in this system?
The system gives you access to the internet.
Okay, now, my question is, will there or can there be some kind of discount for a person that's going to need to have a monitor on them, alright? In other words, you're charging for a modem and a modem with a battery or whatever it is that you're doing can a person that's got that monitor
You talking
get-
about for
get
home phone
those
service?
fees?
No, he's talking
No,
about
he's talking about if I
Just
fall
for
and
inter-
can't get up, I
emergency,
push a button and
medical
sends
Right.
the
Yeah.
fire truck.
A
a
medical
Wi-Fi medical alert.
Right, I don't believe so, but I can follow up and ask that.
Hold
But
on, hold
there
on.
has not been any discussion for
If
any
you
type
have
of,
one of those, you have a subscription with a company
correct.
that supports that.
Yeah.
That's where that question has to be answered.
Mhm.
Internet is internet.
Yeah.
If this thing can access the internet, but,
It's LTE.
I'm asking as far as the
oh,
modem goes,
okay.
I think
can
it's
the,
LTE.
can the modem
Alright.
battery fee, whatever,
Well,
if you
I
have
don't
a.
I don't think you need a home internet for that system.
No,
No.
I think it
Cell
works,
phone frequency.
cell phone frequency.
Got a SIM card in it.
Cause some of
Yeah.
them work
Right.
where you
Some of them
can,
do work on internet.
but a lot of them you can use, like if you're out at Publix or traveling
Right.
around and you
That's
fall,
absolutely right.
you can
Yes.
push it and they'll be able to
Yeah,
locate you that way.
that's
as well.
consistent with cell phone.
Yeah, same thing.
The question of internet, that's gonna have
Still,
to be worked out.
Hey, but it's still internet. The cell phone is still getting you to the internet.
Yeah,
Still
okay.
Wi-Fi, internet,
It's data.
Yeah, it's data is data.
yeah, no matter how you look at it.
But yes, from what I've seen or what I've heard, there is no discounts or modem waves for anybody that's got a medical alert system or any other.
Is that something that you would consider?
I
Oh,
can't consider it, but I can bring it
No,
back
I'm
to,
saying, bring it up to the.
yeah, but I don't,
I think it's
It's a very
something,
valid question.
I think it's something that should be considered, because there are a lot of people here that have monitors and can't really afford to have more, you know?
well, what are they doing now? I don't believe Comcast offers them a
I
discount.
think it comes from the company
It's
they
separate.
purchased it from.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It has nothing to
Exactly.
do
But it's very pricey, so what he's looking for is a better.
There's a
deal.
monthly fee for
Yep.
those.
Yeah.
Oh, then yeah, no, I mean, we're not, unfortunately, we're not in the
You're
medical alert.
subscribed with the company that provides that box,
Mhm.
alright?
Right.
And I'm almost certain that those are going over cell phone frequencies.
They are,
They are.
yeah.
Now, what happens to those bits en route, who knows? They may in fact be packetized and on the internet, but you can't expect the ISP here to get their nose into it.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to work this with the company that provides this fob.
Yeah, my grandmother had it and she had no internet. She was 98 years
Right.
old
Yeah,
and
it's nothing to
and
do.
it
No
worked.
matter where they go, it works.
Yes.
And she had no internet in her home.
Yeah.
The other thing is, it also lets whoever they're calling know where they are, so there's.
Like a
Like a
GPS thing,
GPS
yeah, same
function.
thing, GPS.
Alright, why don't we hear about,
Comcast?
I got a question for Charlie.
Yes, sir.
It's not a difficult. I mean, I've asked this question in the past, and I think I got an answer, but I'm not sure about that right now. So the question is, who has priority for the cable that's in your unit? And let me give you an example. I'm a person who has Comcast right now for internet, and I have a 1-year contract with them, and it won't be over until way after Atlantic Broadband comes in here with the with the television. I wanna keep my contract until it expires. I also want you to install Atlantic Broadband television when our contract commences. Who has priority for the in-house wiring?
Okay, to answer your question, the provider that you're connected to now, if you have a contract with them, they have priority over the wiring.
Okay, so that means you're gonna have to install
I'm gonna have to
wiring.
run a wire in your unit.
second one?
There's no
Okay.
way to get around it.
All right,
You've only got one wire going in there now, and I'm gonna be having to post wire a wire that's gonna,
The internet?
it's called post wire. There's no way to run it inside the wall.
I
It's gotta
understand.
come from the outside in.
So that
A
means, can
service from your
anybody
provider.
now that has AT&T or a different
well,
company?
AT&T is not an issue.
AT&T.
Okay.
It's anyone who's using
No,
Comcast.
they also have internet.
No, but
No,
it's
no.
coming over different wiring.
Let me just clarify this, cause there's
Yeah.
lots of questions that keeps coming up, so hopefully I can tell you all day you'll understand it. There's one wire going into each unit. Right now, the provider Comcast has priority on that wire because you have a contract with Comcast and their signal's going through that wire into your unit.
Gotcha.
Once we come in, we're gonna intercept that, anybody that wants our service, we're gonna intercept that wire and connect into it. and we're gonna send our signal through that same wire. We will then have priority on that wire, once we put our signal through it. Just like Ken, if a customer has a contract with Comcast for internet, and they're locked into a year contract, you can't get out of it without paying a fee. You're not gonna wanna do that, but you're also gonna want Atlantic Broadband. Comcast already has a signal going into the unit. We're not gonna interrupt that signal you're paying for. It would be stupid, it would be mean, it would be unethical, and a bunch of other words,
Okay,
okay? So we're gonna run another wire in those instances.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we're not gonna have many of those, because I don't wanna have to come in here and rewire this whole property,
well,
you know?
there
But I know
are,
there are some.
look, you know that there are a lot of elderly people in Century Village. And
Really?
older people don't like change. So there are some people that have a telephone with Comcast, and if you tell them that you want them to switch to another company, you could tell them today, the next year, that they're gonna have the same phone number, they don't wanna switch. So they're gonna keep their telephone, even if they're paying more, just because they don't wanna switch.
We know that. We're not looking forward to it, but we know that. So, look, because of that, this is why everything changed from the beginning when I was trying to make my plans on how I'm gonna deal with this.
Right.
But we didn't know how big the issue was at the time, okay?
Yeah.
But the issue is pretty big.
Yeah, I brought this up a couple of times.
Yeah, I know,
And you
and
guys said, it's not an issue.
well, at first, it wasn't gonna be a big issue
Right.
until we really got into the units, and I gotta tell you that Dave and Kathy over in Dover let me into a whole bunch of their units. I got in there and was shocked at what I saw on the way those buildings were wired. But because of that, I changed our plans, and we're now gonna run jumpers from our pedestals up to the risers.
Okay.
So we're not messing with the Comcast box. Legally, I can't go in their box to
Right.
pull these drops over like I wanted to do anyway, but we found a lot of them are bad, so we're gonna run jumpers. At this point, we'll intercept that drop there between our pedestal and that. Anybody that needs a new drop, we'll take each one of those individually. If the customer wants to keep their phone, I can't cut that Comcast drop.
Okay.
They've got a phone, that's a lifeline, okay? Their phone's gonna stay on, or an internet if you got a contract. Or if they wanna keep Comcast and not have me,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna mess with that drop. And the ones that do want our services are gonna get somehow a new drop going into the building. Now, it raises another concern, okay? We're gonna be running drops on buildings. I'm not gonna have my wire hanging on a building, but they're all gonna be difficult because the reason we're not rewiring everything is because we can't get in these attics and
Right.
start pulling all this new wire. We can't do what's already there, okay? So we're gonna have to be running wires from the outside. We'll dress them up, we'll put molding over them or some kind of trim over that drop, okay, to secure it and hide it, but you're gonna see them, they're gonna be there. And for those customers, I can't stop it.
This issue of dual cables. This is not such a big deal. I wanna remind you of something. When our bulk contract with Comcast terminates, UCO will no longer be making these massive bulk payments. Anybody who, for whatever reason, says, oh, I wanna stay with Comcast, is all of a sudden gonna be paying full commercial rate.
No, David,
It's almost gonna double
no.
on TV, I
Right, but
guarantee
there's
you.
nobody is gonna keep TV. Nobody in their right mind would keep TV.
We get it all the time. I don't wanna change.
Right, but
I didn't vote for this
I
contract.
understand that, but they're gonna wanna keep their internet because they're paying individual right now for internet.
If they're paying less, they're gonna wanna keep their
Yes.
First
internet.
of all, nobody's gonna wanna not go with AB, for the simple reason is, it's cheaper. And secondly, it's a major contract that you have to pay anyway.
Right.
So you're gonna pay $28 AB and then you're gonna keep Comcast for maybe $40-something dollars? No, I don't think they're gonna do that.
No
And if
one-
it's marketed right, they're gonna go with you.
You know, there's so many rumors that run around Century
Don't
Village.
listen to it all.
I know. So, you know, how about this one? Comcast is gonna run a full-page ad in the UCO Reporter just to be competitive with Atlantic Broadband.
They might,
That's right.
they
That
might.
surprised me.
Yeah.
Welcome to
Surprised me.
America.
I know. I'm saying that, you know, Atlantic Broadband has to realize that there's still competition with Comcast.
We know that.
Oh,
And on the installation side, we know we're gonna be running drops. And we're gearing up for it. We're gonna have the crews available for it.
Well,
Okay.
They know you're coming in, and right now on TV, I type everything. But as I zoomed through those commercials, I saw Xfinity and I stopped it. So let me see what they're saying. Internet, 1999. So I says, ooh, that's gonna be a problem here, you know what I'm saying? Because some people just for pennies are going to keep them instead of saying, for so
Right.
much
You have to
more,
see
yeah,
what
you
it
know
is,
what I'm
you know,
saying,
what
you
the
know what I'm
speed is
saying.
and the
But
1999.
When you
and
freeze,
and then.
I know that.
when you freeze that little thing, read that tiny little
Yeah.
stuff.
No, no,
on the bottom.
I understand it.
It's gonna tell you.
Yeah,
Folks,
Only
because
for a year.
we negotiated an optional internet,
yes.
it's going to be cutthroat in here. You pays your money and you takes your choice.
Right.
You wanna jump around for $1.50, be my guest. Be my guest, alright? Now, it would be nice if we came out of Tupperware mode and got this meeting on the road, okay?
And we lost the Comcast
So
equipment.
let's go now.
There's an issue that I wanna bring up,
Go ahead.
with respect to Charlie's, requirement, if there's active service going to every unit. How does he know that? How are we gonna get that information to him?
When they
Through-
sign up,
through sign up.
yeah,
Okay.
of course.
No, just when we do the on-site signups, if a resident tells us that they choose to keep Comcast internet, we will note that, or Comcast phone, we will clearly note that on the work orders. Obviously, same if they decide they're gonna keep Comcast video.
I'll
Good
tell you
point.
right
But that-
now, you're gonna have people that are not gonna go up to and tell you that they want to keep
So be it.
Comcast or that they
Of
want
course,
you.
and that's, we've, we just did a property in Boca. We just did a whole conversion over there, the same thing, there were some buildings that did not, there were some buildings that did a double play cable and internet. They're still insisted on keeping their old provider, and there were some that were basic only. So as much as we can prod when we take those orders and ask them, do you want our internet, this is the deal, no, I'm keeping who I have, and we noted that on the order. Yes, did some of our installers go to a home that they didn't tell us they were keeping their other provider? Then, our installers are capable of making that change. It just kind of puts us a little behind schedule when we're doing installs as far as scheduling. But we are going to when we're face to face with that customer, when we're on the phone, during the online sign up, when we have that web portal
That's when
open,
you're gonna do
that
it.
will all be asked and asked multiple times.
You'll get
But
it
yes,
then.
if the resident does not give us the correct answer, then we will work around it.
Okay,
So we're gonna
gentleman over there with his hand up, go
we're
ahead.
gonna be contacted individually, one-on-one, to talk to you about this.
Gonna have meetings.
What we're gonna be doing is if you've been to some of the town halls already or
We
going,
just got back one.
She's just explaining, so.
yeah, so
Listen to her.
what we're gonna be doing is there will be different options for you to sign up. We will be here on site for about 3 weeks in January. Starting the on-site, it'll be by building, in order, because obviously we don't want an influx.
Which
But we-
means when
which
they
you-
know what your building date will be, they will let your building know.
So you will be
So
able
that
to come
everyone in the
in,
building can make arrangements to be available.
correct, so you can come into wherever the location is that we are set up. We can go through all of the information, make sure you're getting the right package and the services that are for you. If you are not here or you can't be available on that day, we will also have an online option set up. So for those that are internet savvy and like to do things online, just like you would be going onto Amazon,
And the TV.
you can go online and sign up for your services, whether it's internet,
But I
phone,
wanna talk to
TV.
somebody in person, so I understand.
You will.
Yes, you will,
Both TV and internet.
correct,
You will.
and you will also have, there'll be a
I'll wait
dedicated
to
phone
talk to you in
number,
person.
so yes.
And quite a bit of heads up that it's gonna happen on a certain date for your building. So everybody in your building can kind of
So
get
this is the
together.
last meeting, because.
But at some of the town halls, we are also collecting individual data. So what we will be doing is we will be then reaching out to you individually. So, we will make sure that all residents have access to us, whether in person, by phone, online. We will make sure everybody gets signed up.
Any more questions for AB, just hold for a second, okay? I wanna go to the Comcast equipment return. That's what David wants to move on to, and then we'll go to you, because you're gonna be a long session, I have a feeling, okay? So let's go to
Okay.
Comcast equipment. What do you have so far for us to know about returning our equipment also?
I am working with Comcast now, or UPS, to get these boxes and the shipping labels, make them available to the residents. I have not made enough of a good connection with either one to get commitments.
So we're no place yet.
Well, we're no place yet. The other thing is the actual location. The community bus service does go to the UPS store anyway.
No, we heard that the last meeting, we know that, does
Nothing has
everybody
been
know that? So nothing new has come up
Correct.
for return. It's go to UPS or go to Comcast, right now, that's where we stand.
Correct.
That's all we have to know. Anybody have questions about that?
Not about that.
Alright, this is where we are, we have not gone any place with that.
Just
Same
saying,
as the
that
last
is
time.
that is a hot topic that comes up in the town hall so far, is about the
Of
equipment.
course,
Just-
excuse me, you know why? Because people have come to me and come to my office and call me and say, what about the equipment? Because and we had this discussion this week at our staff meeting, is that I have told all my quadrants that before you leave, if you're a snowbird and they leave in April, let's say they're not hooked up yet, just say, you get that equipment back to Comcast, because if you leave it there till after the contract, even though you're not using it, they are going to charge you for it. So this is what I've been trying to tell everybody. I mean, I handle Comcast now and I know what they do, if you know.
We've been telling, whatever you guys do, make sure you get a
Uh,
receipt.
And this is another thing, a receipt, but so far, we haven't gotten a plan to be able to make it easier for our residents where they can drop it off, get a receipt, and it can be handed over there in bulk, because I don't see how Comcast would want 100 people going there one morning to return their stuff. Did you ever go there? Yeah, but they're not, like you said, they're not
They don't
gonna
care.
care, because if you don't return it, guess what? They're gonna make money. So it's up to us to find a way. So far, we have not found a way. I would only tell the
Other
buildings.
than having the buses actually go to the Comcast.
Yeah, but that
That's
can
not to
happen,
the
but that's
UPS.
that's not gonna
It's
work.
a long line up there.
Go ahead, David, you're in charge.
I don't know how many of you have been there. It's a very small office.
Very.
And the people behind the counter know one speed, slow. I think we will work a little harder with CSI and Atlantic Broadband, and hopefully Comcast, but I wouldn't hold my breath to come up with a plan.
Are you working with UPS as well? Because I mean,
Yes.
But it's only
big-
one store, Mark. You understand? He's dealing with a store on Village Boulevard.
And
That's not gonna
I've been trying to
make
get to the corporate and they're much more difficult to get to. Very
We have-
similar to Comcast.
Ideally, we would have representatives here
Yeah,
in the clubhouse on a given day or days to take in this equipment.
Amen.
Nothing can
that's what we
be,
need.
we must reiterate, you cannot just hold on to this gear. Very bad move. Go ahead, Sam.
What have other communities done? How have they handled the
They don't all have.
equipment?
they make it up, it's the customer or the resident's responsibility, so that they either have to go to a UPS store, they have to go to Comcast. I know for myself, I mean, UPS is pretty quick as far as it's not like a Comcast, cause I know I've recently returned equipment there. I mean, you walk in, they scan it, they can pull up your account, and they give you, they pack it and they send it.
In Sunrise, it
But-
turned into a disaster
Sure.
because people, Comcast actually would send a rep and they came into the different common areas and would sit down on certain days. And what happened was people were coming up to dumping their stuff in boxes and bags in there.
Yeah.
And the Comcast rep would come in and he'd have 50 modems sitting there and nobody would know where they all
No,
came
not
from.
without a receipt.
It got crazy. And that's why Comcast quit doing it, I think, because of stuff like that, but
It would
it
have
turned
to
into a
be
disaster.
controlled. I don't think we've made a real effort I mean, obviously, we're not on the best of terms with Comcast, but I don't think we've made a real effort to work with them,
It may be a little early in the schedule, so we're not
Yes,
worried about it
for
yet.
sure.
Comes pretty fast.
Marilyn,
Yeah, you're talking about UPS, on Village Boulevard. UPS is right across the street. At the, I mean, could you not set that up as a,
Any UPS store,
Any
will,
UPS.
any UPS location is contracted with Comcast.
Right.
So you can go, I mean, you could take it down if you're ever in Fort
The-
Lauderdale, I mean,
the
you could
issue
take
is
your
your
equipment
time.
there.
Right.
Yeah, it's the time, it's the convenience for each resident, there's a lot of
You could
residents,
do a
but
deal with the local UPS because they get paid every box that they have.
No, he
So this
was
little
walking
store
now.
across the street would send some, would send a whole crew over here because they're gonna get enough money from Comcast.
that would be ideal.
I think that's what happened, I think that's what one of the UPS locations near Tamarack did when Comcast lost the agreement to Kings Point in Tamarack. I think a local UPS store actually came on site, sort of followed behind some of the installers.
I've been to the one on Villager,
He's not gonna do it.
Well,
and I've been there 3 times.
He's
I'll
not
go
gonna-
across the street and talk to them.
Okay, put
Okay.
you down.
Yeah.
Alright. Have we beaten this one to death?
I have a
Yeah.
comment on that.
Jody?
I took the box back early because we renovated the unit and we're having renters come in. And the guy across the street, when I took the box there, he said he doesn't do that.
Really?
Joking.
Is he a UPS store or is he
I'll
just a
That was
post
a
office?
UPS store
do that?
across the street. I had to go to the village
They make
people and
money
they were
on it.
fabulous.
They don't care, it's not
Contract.
enough, they don't want to.
She said he does not do that.
Is that
Some
a
UPS
real,
stores are not UPS,
Yeah.
They're
they're
not
privately
regular.
owned.
Jody,
Yeah.
That's what
is
they-
that a
they're
real
privately.
UPS store? That's some kind of
It's a pic-
independent
no.
postal store?
Right, but
That's what it is.
but they get paid from UPS for every package that's brought in there.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Hey, I wanna ask you something, you
sure,
just
but-
said
Oh, yeah.
about boxes, Marcella, boxes that people can send back, right?
We need a label.
And a label,
But see,
but where's their receipt?
they get, when they go to UPS, cause
No, I'm not talking about UPS, I'm talking about if
Mailing
they
it
want
back.
to mail it, they have to go to the post office.
That's how they get their,
And that's where they would have to get the receipt, it would, I don't know if that's paid or not paid to return it. We have to work on something internally here to
Right.
help our residents, that's what we have to do, period.
You can get a receipt for a box, who knows what's in the box?
Yeah, well,
Exactly.
it's not a good idea, we have to do it here to cover our residents and help them. I'm sure you have not worked with any community that has this large amount of people.
the Kings Point one
Yeah,
that
but they aren't quite as large,
there's
but you're
about
right,
5,000 residents there.
yeah.
And I was with Blue Stream at the time
Right.
when we took over that
Well, maybe
property.
we can find a way to
So I
set
know,
something up.
so I know that they worked with a local UPS store. The UPS came on site and followed behind some of the
Check it
installations.
just to be sure.
That's
Um,
interesting.
any ideas?
But it could be done, but that, if they're all franchise, I don't know how they work.
Do you have a name of a person at Kings Point that we can talk to who did that?
I can try and get that for you.
Okay. Yeah, get it to Barbara.
Give me a call with it, no,
Let's try again.
try it.
Can we move along now on the
Yeah, let's
agenda?
go.
Please.
Okay. We're gonna hear about a few new programs you could put up. You got anything to put on the screen?
I don't, cause I just got this, but we will have it to you in writing before, probably before the-
Christmas.
No, before, we're planning to be here on the 15th, so we will have it to you before then.
Excuse me, you have to give us time, you know today's date.
Correct.
The 15th is Monday, we need time.
I should have it before the, hopefully before the end of the day
Wonderful,
tomorrow.
Melissa, wonderful.
When I finish here, I mean, these
This
packages already.
little bit is not unimportant,
It's very important.
I know.
okay?
We'll let you go along with it in a minute, they'll be done. Go ahead.
So I'm gonna go through it, I will make sure that either myself and or Danny follows up with something in writing.
Cause I have the VP of the rec facility, Eva Richesky, just sitting on a needle as to whether to reschedule that and let it go or not.
Okay.
And, as you get closer and closer, it gets very tight.
No, I will I don't know if Danny knows that you have put the meetings on hold until
Oh, yes,
that.
it does.
Oh,
It's in writing.
okay, well then I'm sure if he knows about it already, you will
Alright.
have it in writing.
Go
And
ahead.
if he doesn't, he'll know it from me
Let's
when
hear
we're done.
about these.
So we're gonna go, so the initial offer, the $17.99 internet, that's the 25 meg, which includes home Wi-Fi, that is $17.99, so that price point hasn't changed, but it will include the home Wi-Fi, and it's only the
But that's in
$8.
the contract.
Correct, I'm going
Okay.
through,
Uh,
because we were,
Can you take the word home Wi-Fi out of everything? People in Century Village consider internet Wi-Fi, so we don't
Okay.
wanna hear home Wi-Fi.
okay, but they're two different things, but.
No, no, as far as we're
Alright, hold on.
concerned, there's only
Okay,
Wi-Fi.
well, I'm
Hold
just
on,
gonna
this
let
is-
you know what,
This is not too subtle, Melissa.
No.
okay, let me.
Let's say I happen to have a laptop with a wireless card.
Mhm.
What difference is it to your bit stream loading, whether I plug that into the modem or I send a signal to it across a radio frequency? How can you differentiate that in a technical sense?
The technical sense with the home Wi-Fi fee that was implemented, that is no longer part of any of the packages, which
That's
that's,
it, no more
is-
Wi-Fi.
there
So-
is no Wi-Fi,
So
but
why
that,
mention it?
I mean,
okay,
it's really internet. I'm not
Okay,
gonna
so
have
it's-
I'm not gonna have a
but I
kid.
just wanna reiterate that because in some of our town halls, we were talking about the Wi-Fi
I got
fee.
you.
So now that we have, now the $17.99, which is the 25 meg internet service, which would, all that it includes is the $8 modem rental fee on your residence.
Alright,
So it's
$17
plus eight. The 100 meg internet and the upgrade to a TiVo HD DVR instead of the regular HD DVR, which is at $21.99. That price remains the same, it's just the $8 modem rental fee.
What about that second line at 50 megabits, is that out completely? It says 50 megabit internet plus home Wi-Fi service is $42.99.
Okay, if
So
I can
you're
go,
gonna take that line out?
if I can go, yes,
Let him talk finish.
all of the
that's
individual
not the
price,
contract.
correct.
This is the contract.
So I am going through all of the contract rates and the individual bundles that so if you can let me get through it, I'll be happy to answer any.
Could you just repeat what's included in the 21 meg?
Sure, the $21.99 is the 100 meg internet, a TiVo HD DVR, which is an upgrade from the regular HD DVR that is included in the contract.
Read that again.
That's 100 meg internet,
Is it a voice command, TiVo?
all of the TiVo is voice.
Okay.
So the 100 meg internet plus a free upgrade to the HD DVR from the regular HD DVR that's included is $21.99. Plus the $8 modem rental fee.
Plus the 3 1/4.
Those are other fees, but the actual rental fee of the modem,
All right, but the 3 1/4 is included in that, or plus the 3
is
1/4.
plus. All taxes and fees are additional. So the 250 meg internet with the free upgrade to a TiVo HD DVR, and that's from the regular HD DVR that's included, that price point hasn't changed, it's $44.99 plus the $8 modem rental.
It's not really bad, Kim.
The 100 meg internet with an upgrade to the HD DVR, to the TiVo HD DVR plus unlimited phone, which will also include enhanced Wi-Fi, that is at a new price of $51.95. So you will get the air ties, so that price point is $5 less. You will also have an enhanced Wi-Fi, so you can get that, so there's no interference within
Wait
your
a second.
unit.
Wait a second.
Internet.
Is that under the exhibit A of the special discounted package? So I don't see anything about that enhanced thing.
This is an addition, it was
Oh, so it's
that
not-
price point was, I believe, $56.95.
No, but it's not on the contract at all.
Okay.
So we were talking about contract, now we're off the contract and we're back onto your list here, I assume.
These were additional,
Let's back up to enhanced.
That's the mesh.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that's.
You will get an each unit will get an air tie that gets also put into the unit.
And where
that-
do you see, I mean,
You will be able
I'm
to.
not aware of any lead walls and huge concrete block obstructions.
It also works if there's any mirrored walls within the
Right,
unit.
oh yeah,
If you go out onto your patio,
yeah, my
You may-
patio works great, yeah.
Works fine.
You know, 1,100 square feet is the biggest unit in Century Village.
Okay.
We're not talking about a 4,000 square foot house. So I don't even think you guys should start marketing that here. That's an insult to people here because they don't know what you're talking about.
but that's a
Now-
that's $5 less than the price point we advertised when we
Charlie,
were
come on.
on the.
You have
No,
a,
I'll go with you.
you have a copy of these new bundles you're gonna
You
give
will
David?
have them, they will all be given
Yeah.
to David,
Okay.
prior or after this meeting, and obviously so
Wonderful.
that we can move
Okay.
on with our town halls come the 15th.
You know, I don't know if you've been in these units.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ken's right, 1,150 square feet. Any walls,
The person next to you downstairs can get it.
they're not heavy block walls.
Mhm. Okay,
I just, maybe if someone, if their modem cannot see this wireless signal, grandkids come with all kinds of devices, who knows what all the power levels are. I cannot imagine that anything more than a centrally located wireless router would be necessary under any condition
It
in our
works.
units.
I've had 3 grandchildren on all kinds of devices myself.
Right,
And it works. Actually, my neighbor's son came in for a day. She doesn't have Wi-Fi. He could use my Wi-Fi downstairs, and I'm in a cement building. And I'm just
oh
being.
yeah, of course.
So
So,
that's
I
really
would be very careful about
marketing something that
marketing this,
we don't need.
and it's just not necessary in this village.
okay.
Quick question, this phone, is it landline or or cell phone?
No, we don't do cell phone service, so
Oh,
it
okay,
is,
landline, no cell, thank you.
It's VoIP, people, it's not like
it's not a
good
popular
old
Thank you.
Ma Bell wire from point to point. Those days are long
But it's the same
gone.
type of service you're getting from Comcast if you're using Comcast phone
So
service.
VoIP, voice over internet protocol. Marilyn?
Will they be giving out any DTA boxes if you have more than
Yes.
one?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
There's 2
Yes. The
DTA
agree-
boxes by contract and an HD DVR or TiVo if you go with the internet package, 100 megabit internet package.
If you have, let's say, 4 TVs in your house,
You have to buy extra.
You'll have to get an
You'll
additional,
pay
if
for
you're
an
using a DTA, you'll have to get an additional
and
DTA.
how much is an additional DTA?
I believe it is, it's either
$4.99,
Yeah,
$4.99.
yeah. $4.99 HD.
I don't think that'll break the bank. Okay, go ahead. Wait,
So that
David?
56.95.
Hold on.
You have to remember too, when you're doing these things, you had HD, you always had to pay an upgrade for that, now you
Yes.
don't pay an upgrade.
correct.
Correct,
It's a good point for
HD
marketing.
is included and is included in all of the in the basic UCO package. So it's included in all the other bundles as well.
Go ahead, Melissa.
So 250 meg internet, an upgrade to a TiVo HD DVR, unlimited phone, and it does also include the enhanced Wi-Fi. That package is also $5 less than we quoted, and it's now $74.95. For the 4 bundles that are on that flyer that we gave out at the town halls, the first offer, which includes 100 megabit internet, TiVo HD DVR, 1 additional TiVo mini or TiVo receiver, unlimited phone. Oh, I'm sorry, my mistake, reading the wrong one. The 100 meg internet, upgrade to TiVo HD DVR, a TiVo additional unit, and now it also includes Showtime, plus it includes the modem lease, is now that package is $54.95, and we threw in Showtime in that bundle.
Alright, the contract calls for an HD DVR and 2 DTA boxes.
The DTAs are included, correct.
You have 2 DTAs, other locations. Unless you wanna do things like record from multiple locations, what's the value
A mini TiVo,
of
other than to record.
upgrading to a mini TiVo
That gives,
in 1 or 2 additional locations?
that gives you, if you upgrade to TiVo on your main set and you take,
Go ahead.
and so you have TiVo, you now can use the voice remote, you can record up to 6 programs versus the 2.
But that's on your main TV.
Correct. So if
He's
you
asking
want,
about
if
the
you
mini.
want the second TiVo, what that does, it gives you the same capabilities that your main TiVo has.
In another
So
location.
everything that you record in your living room, you
can
can
play
now
back.
access and play back in your bedroom or your den or wherever you put it.
Okay,
Plus, it also has the voice remote in there as well. You can access Netflix, so it has all of the
voice
same.
remote works on the mini TiVo?
Sure it
Correct.
does, yeah, definitely.
So it has the same exact capabilities that your main TiVo has, you just have that same option now and they speak to one another.
So that was $54.99.
$54.95.
I have a question to ask you.
Yes.
If you have the main TiVo in your living room and the remote, and you don't have a mini TiVo in your bedroom, let's say, or whatever room, would you take the remote from the living room? You can't do it, because someone told me in their Comcast, they can do it, and I was just curious, because I never heard of that.
No, the remotes, and if at the town halls, we showed you the difference in the 2
Yeah, the
remotes.
voice activated one. I'm
The
talking
voice
about.
activated remote is specific to a TiVo box.
That's what I'm talking
The other
about.
box, which is the HD
Is the
DTA, which is what you will have in your second room if you don't upgrade to, and take additional TiVos.
Yeah.
So you will not be able to interchange remotes.
I'm recommending from $17.99 to $21.99, just use those basics. To me, I am recommending to my people to go with the $21.99 for the difference in the price, because they're gonna be getting much more for their money, and they don't realize it, do you know what I mean? Okay, go ahead.
I can imagine someone could be kind of tricked. What's the range on that voice remote? You're sitting in your bedroom and you talk to the voice remote. Is the X1 or the TiVo in the living room hearing that?
No.
It's locked to a serial number?
I believe it's locked to a serial number. I mean, I know that, I have X1 in my house and I have 2 voice remotes. And if I'm in the bedroom watching something and talking to the remote, it does not affect the TV in the living room at all.
I have it in both places, but I will tell you that I had the remote in my hand when but it does work. I don't know why it shouldn't, but it does, try it.
But those are 2 of the same remotes.
Yes, they are. Yes,
So
they are.
with the first question you asked me is if you use the TiVo remote and the
No, I'm
remote
talking
for
about
the.
what you just said now,
Oh,
that you can't use
But
it.
I'm not saying but I can't use it, but it doesn't interfere.
No, it does not
If
interfere
I'm
in
in my
any.
bedroom, it does not interfere with the TV in
I
our
have a
living room.
small apartment, there's
Yeah.
3 TVs and it
Okay.
doesn't interfere with anything,
Exactly.
sorry.
That was the $54.95, which now includes
Showtime and modem.
What about
And the
telephones, that
modem.
included in that?
This, in that package, it does not. I'm gonna go through the first 2, the double plays.
This will be explained in those town meetings. to everybody.
Correct. 100 meg internet, upgrade to a TiVo HD DVR, upgrade to an additional TiVo for your second TV. Unlimited phone, includes the modem, and that price is now $69.95. That's a $5 decrease in price. 100 meg internet, upgrade to TiVo. You get 2 additional TiVo, so you can get TiVo on all 3 TVs in your home, plus Showtime, including a modem, and that price is now $69.95. That's a $5 decrease in price than what we originally reviewed on that flyer. The final package, which pretty much includes everything, it's 100 meg internet, a TiVo HD DVR on all 3 TVs, Showtime, unlimited phone, plus the modem, that price is also a $5 decrease, it's now $94.95.
Wait a minute, sorry.
This pricing is for the duration of the bulk agreement?
There's a 3% delta.
Yep, these prices, they're subject to any kind of annual increase, but they're not a 12-month or 24-month.
The reason I'm asking the question is there's a lot of turnover of residents in a community this large. So in 2 years from now, I know that UCO is paying the basic service, and then these are the retail prices. That will be available to someone who moves in, has a new account, starts their service.
Correct, and if somebody does not take it when we do the initial installation, they just take what's included in their UCO maintenance and then decide they wanna upgrade, these packages will still be available.
Okay, I have a second question. And this is a little more about the equipment. You're gonna be having a modem in your residence, and it's either gonna be capable of giving you your TV reception, TV and internet, phone and Wi-Fi. It's all the same device,
Yes,
it
it's
just
an
depends on how it's been activated.
It's an all-in-one gateway and it's all depends on how the ports and whatnot are activated.
Okay. That's what I wanted to make sure.
With obviously with the rental fee or in any of the other bundles that include the modem, we will maintain it, we will come out, we will change it 3,000, 1,000 times over the life of the, if needed, or as technology changes and there's firmware upgrades, that includes it. So if somebody goes out and purchases a modem, and they wanna avoid the rental fee, they can do that, but you may only get a limited 1-year warranty on it. So if we troubleshoot all the way up until, that modem and it's determined that modem is bad and you're outside your 1-year limited time warranty, that's on you.
Deal with
So-
the vendor.
Correct, so that is why, obviously not so much so we can get the $8 a month rental fee, but it does benefit, all of you to, cause even if, like I said, if firmware changes, technology changes like daily.
I would just make a suggestion on that. Which you're gonna have to consider with management. If we buy the identical modem from you, and I'm not gonna go into new boxes and even firmware, but software updates which you would key out to your rental customers, you really ought to think about keying them out to those who purchase the exactly same modem. Not another equivalent modem, which you may or may not be able to alter. But if we rent modem A or we buy modem A.
And you buy it from us or you buy it from?
Yes, buy it from you. I don't think it's a great big expense to you guys. You send out software on the circuit and it should upgrade all of the
I
modems.
think it's automatic if you buy the
It
modem
does.
from us, I don't think it's a problem.
I think
It's when you buy them
What we're hearing is a
outside.
different message though.
No, if you purchase the modem from Best Buy, Amazon, or wherever,
No, but from you,
From you.
from us, I will confirm that and I will get that.
from what Danny said, if we purchase the modem from you guys, it still only comes with the manufacturer's 1-year warranty.
That is
And
correct.
after that, you're on your own.
That is correct.
But I don't think software is included in the warranty, I think software
Software
is
is
for
from the
your
company.
service.
Okay.
But if has to do with if it just craps out.
Yeah.
Right, if the modem,
Right.
at, month
Yeah,
25, that
Sure.
modem dies for whatever reason and we come out and we check everything on our end. And then unfortunately,
you're stuck.
Now, Melissa mentioned something else important, and that has to do with firmware updates and downloads. They manage that, your retail modem won't have that.
correct.
Oh, but,
Right,
excuse me, I have,
He had his hand up first.
oh, I'm sorry.
Richard.
I just, about the 1-year manufacturer's warranty, I've gone to Best Buy, Office Depot, Brand Smart, and Staples. You can buy a 3-year warranty depending on the price of your modem
Mhm.
for 15 or 20
Right.
bucks. It goes out, you bring it to them, they give you a new one.
Okay,
No,
so
that's,
should certainly be publicized.
Well, that's for you go to public,
That's right.
correct. I mean,
they're not gonna do that.
depends on the manufacturer that or the location that you buy it from.
Did you, you said the battery was actually, have any idea how much the battery backup is?
I wanna say, I don't know. Let me find out. I don't wanna quote.
Okay, so you're gonna put that on the promotional sheets?
For the phone,
Yeah.
yes.
This
Yeah,
is
that
a
would make the
battery
phone
backup
For the telephone.
For the phone.
Yeah.
For the wireless gateway for the phone service only.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good to know, Barbara.
If you have, let's say I take the package with internet, TiVo, the phone, okay? What is going to be the fees?
The taxes?
No, fees, not taxes.
3.25.
The cost of the fee, like, I know on one thing here I read,
Oh,
it
it's-
said down here about high-speed recovery,
Network
Correct.
recovery fee.
On any,
$3.25.
on any internet package that you take, that $3.25 fee is included.
Okay, can you give me
Or
an
is
idea, if you just take internet and TiVo, you know, not the $17.99, let's say the higher package, next level. Are the taxes roughly how much?
15%.
Is that what it is? Just so we can be
Yeah,
honest with the
15
people and let them
Yeah,
know.
we've been telling them we're roughly about 14 to 15%.
Okay,
Is
that's what I wanna know.
a rough number.
Can you tell me what you're recovering?
Yeah, what is that for?
What the network recovery fee is for?
Yeah, what are you guys recovering?
Yeah,
That I can't answer that question.
Money.
Do you know, that?
is that for infrastructure by any
That's a
chance?
fee from
Charlie,
the
do you know
FBI.
Right.
Have no idea.
No.
No one seems to know
We're
what that
recovering
was
your
for.
money.
Typically, this refers to the cost to build out all of this bandwidth circuitry, what Comcast calls the CRAN. The great multiple huge fiber trunks and bandwidth. Now, one could readily argue that the cost you pay for cable covers that. This additional fee, I think, is a little, right? I'm not saying it doesn't cost a lot to build these networks, billions for the bigger providers, but I don't like that fee either. Because what are you paying for? You're paying for programming. Now, are you gonna show me what you're paying globally to the providers?
No.
So I can do an analysis of how much
Those are
of my
proprietary.
cable, I understand.
No, in each
This is-
contract.
I'm playing to the cap. Is this fee a valid fee?
Well,
You know, the guys we have now, they kept jabbing us with this broadcast fee. But they would never show us. They would never show us what they're paying HBO and blah, 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 blah.
well,
And you're not gonna show us, because that's in essence your profit margin, but this fee is irritating, it's just irritating.
It's an account fee.
Huh?
It's an account fee.
Now, that isn't what it states though.
It's like buying a car and paying a
It's
document.
high
it's a
speed
dealer fee.
network
Yeah.
recovery fee.
Document fee.
Yeah,
It's a
good,
dealer fee, good.
alright. It wouldn't kill us if it went away.
And Charlie, what do you think of 5G?
5G?
Well, in 2
Yeah.
years, we're gonna have 6G, in 2 years
Yeah.
after
Right,
that, we're gonna have 7G.
but that's gonna do away with all of your cables in the ground.
You'll never do away with all my cables in.
Well, any future cables in the ground.
You'll never do away with future cables in the ground. You'll never do it. There's too many signals that are out there right now interfering with each other. Right now, you know, if you could physically see what's in the air right now, we're running out of bandwidth, period, in the world. You know, there's not, for the frequencies that we're using, we're running out of space. And I don't think it's gonna go much further, because what you're getting, people aren't gonna be able to use, you know, what technology is going to. you know, for more bandwidth, more channels, more programming. You're not gonna be able to get it, so I don't think it's gonna go too much further. Even 4G right now, you know, it's just a few years ago that 3G was the thing.
Yeah.
You know, nobody thought it was gonna expand for another 10 years. That was just a few years ago, so,
In 5 more years, who
Look.
knows?
and it's a marketing thing
I
too,
don't know
so
if you
keep that
really
in mind,
heard,
okay?
heard what he said.
Yeah.
The term we use in the government was flux on the deck. You have no idea how much electromagnetic radiation you are subject to every day. Cell phones, microwaves, satellite links,
Power line.
transcontinental radio relay, power line radiation. You might as well take up residence in a big microwave. There's no escaping it. There's no escaping it. We are just drowning in flux on the deck, and there's no escape from it. Unless you wanna drive around in a 6-inch thick lead shield.
And then you get lead poisoning.
Yeah, so.
Well, the FCC is trying to address it, you know, doing away with analog and, you know, pushing digital so hard. They're trying to address it, so.
Alright, Melissa, you got anything else?
That is all that I have at the moment. I know I have some follow-up to get back to you on, if not myself, Danny, but you will get that from us hopefully.
Are there any questions from Melissa?
Can I get a copy of that?
Just so when it's finalized, could you put it on the My Village blog?
Yes,
Yes, of course.
we will.
And you're gonna take out the words home Wi-Fi.
We'll, that's a marketing piece, but yes, I will suggest that.
I don't care if the term exists, just so no fee is attached.
Right, but if
They
it
don't want that,
If
it's
the
just
term
gonna
exists,
confuse
there's always a
people
possibility
I
of,
down the road.
yeah.
Alright, Charlie, you got anything for us?
No, sir, I think my area's been covered pretty well today, thank you.
Barbara?
I have one question, the bundles, the new ones that you're, and David's gonna get, and put on his blog and all, and hopefully your meetings will continue.
Correct.
So those bundles, I presume, other than what will not change other than what's in the contract, in other words, in 3 years, you're not gonna say, well, we have to put Wi-Fi in there.
No.
I mean, we're gonna get that all in writing, right? Okay, that's all I wanna know, black and white.
The only thing they'll be subject to, is any type of annual increase as we, look at them, down the road.
But the rounding.
But I can tell you, like, the $24.99 phone price hasn't changed in 2 years. The
Unfortunately though, they
The
put the
ones-
phone in the SDP box, which means it could, I'm not
It
saying
could.
it will,
It
it could
could.
change. Yeah, at
Yes.
many meetings, right here at this table, we were told, you've been here, Charlie,
Never
the
change.
phone will never change in the lifetime of the contract.
No, they could change, but like I said, that price has been the same for the last 2 years.
Well, we need it for 10 years.
And if it were to change, it's going to be, a 1-2% type of an increase as we look at, our costs and just the way we look at any kind of annual rate increases.
There's another item that Ken reminded me of. When you do your taxes, you're allowed to round off.
Yeah.
Now, do you know what round off means to 99.9999% of Americans? If it's below 50 cents, it goes back down. If it's above 50 cents, it goes up. You've got a very tricky line in your contract, and I think everybody missed it. It only rounds one way.
I don't think they missed it.
No, us.
So if it's
Yeah, us.
15 cents, it automatically goes
Including,
up and then they
including
go down.
our attorney.
Right.
So it always rounds up. Now, I don't know if you've sat and done the computation, and I believe you're gonna run yourself right out of here. Because that is going to cause a very rapid escalation. Because it's always going one way. And you guys need to go and please look at this. Because this is not right. This is very tricky. It got past our attorney, which I'm unhappy about. And you read the contract,
Okay.
you see what I'm talking about.
Alright,
Everything rounds up, like to the nearest dollar or
I
something.
mean, it doesn't say it won't go down, but yes, if
No,
we're
it doesn't.
rounding,
No, it says
it,
round up,
but
goes up.
yes,
It
but
goes up,
I mean,
it goes up, I have the contract in front of
most
me.
everything, unfortunately.
Well, it was a very good
yeah.
contract, you guys, believe me.
Uh,
I commend you.
we both walked away with something here,
I
but
think,
this roundup, a little irritating, spilkers it gives me. Richard?
I did run the numbers. It rounds up to either the nearest half dollar or the dollar. And I compared it to, although David has said AB has not listed the 3% per year,
No, we still have a 3% delta, yeah.
but that's optional on I don't know what the reasoning AB would have to present to authenticate or verify why they are raising it 3%. But I compared, let's say AB did it 3% every year for the 10 years and the rounding up every year for the 10 years, it comes out to about $2.17 per person. Every dollar more means about, with 8,300 apartments, that comes out to about $100,000 a year.
A lot of money.
So you've gotta think about that.
It's
rounding
not
up.
insignificant.
No,
No,
it's not.
not at all.
It's compounded as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
3%,
absolutely.
3%,
The compounding is,
it's compounded, 3%.
that's
It's 30, it's more than
that's why
33.
it's more.
It goes up, so over 40.
Alright, George?
The basic fee will be
Yes.
over $40 in 10 years. That gets a $1.25 raise according to the contract every year.
Well, I don't think that's in your purview right now.
So you're gonna be paying $40 in about 10 years for anyone who comes in extra.
My only response to that is go try to get this package across the street.
Yeah,
Yeah, oh, I know, it's.
$39.95,
George.
no doubt.
Yeah, one thing, my experience with TiVo, around 1995, 6, or whatever it was, TiVo came on the scene. And they were offering 2 TiVo sets, one of each type. One was for $400 and it recorded up to 40 hours or so. The other one was $169 and it had 18 hours. I spoke to a friend of mine who had the $400 set. He said, you don't need 40 hours, go with the so for $169, I went for the lower price unit, but it came with $150 mail-in rebate. So I bought it for $20. I liked it so much, I went back and bought a second unit. Now it had $13 a month fee was required. But because I had 2, the second one was only $6. So much for my experience. Now I have a question. Currently, I'm with Comcast and I have 3 TVs in the house. And I have a ability to record or do whatever on any one of the 3.
okay,
What would it cost to have similar with TiVo in your company?
you want TiVo on all 3?
Yes.
You
Two
may-
minis.
You would
Two
need 2
minis.
additional minis. So that would probably, the one that comes with 2, are you
$69.95.
taking phone as well? Home phone? So then with home, then you would probably be looking at a $94.95, that would include home phone, that would include your 100 meg internet,
Yeah.
that would include 3 TiVos, and Showtime,
Okay, the 90-something what?
$94.95.
Okay,
Yes,
which is a
yes.
big savings over the $229 that I pay now.
That is correct.
Yeah, Barbara.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
How long does it take for this phone to be switched?
Some of your historical
Comcast
information is
to-
interesting.
To your place?
I believe if I read correctly, George, the current TiVo will
You'd
be
have to
6
let them know
channels up
whether
to 1,000 hours
Oh, yeah.
of capacity.
Includes the modem.
1,000 hour capacity, 6 channels.
Same thing without the telephone?
The same thing without the telephone, it is
$69.95.
$69.95.
I just wanna ask you a question. I have been recommending in my column the $22, let's round up, okay?
Round up.
The $22 with, the $8 with the modem is $30, am I correct?
Correct.
Okay, so now if, like George, he wanted 2 more TiVos, that would be another 20, right?
Correct, I think they're
$10
yes.
is not, let's round
Yes.
it up, so that's another 20, that would be $50, am I correct?
Mm-hmm,
And then the phone is $25, right?
mm-hmm.
So that's $75, plus let's say he rented the modem, that's another 8, right? That comes to 8.
No, he rented the modem already.
Oh, he rented, I don't see eight.
Yeah,
Oh, the
yeah,
$8
because-
is in there,
Part of
okay.
the package,
The
yeah.
$8 is, so that's $75.
And then
How do you come-
Showtime.
Wait, stop a minute, just a minute, forget the Showtime. If he just did that package, cause I would advise
Yeah,
George, it would be only $75, you just said how much?
$94.95.
94, so that would mean that extra money you're paying for Showtime.
yeah, and Showtime is $15.
Do you follow what I'm saying, Melissa?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to recommend, I like your idea of bundling, but if you can't bundle it to the benefit of my residents, then I consider them my residents and myself, I can't recommend that. I would go to George and say, George, do this, this, and this, it would be more beneficial to
Yes.
you. And that's what I'm gonna tell the people, cause I will be at all your meetings, so I'm gonna look at those very carefully what you give him.
Right. Yeah, so basically you have to look at the bundles that you're doing
Yeah.
compared to
Individual
individual
pricing.
prices.
Correct.
And the bundles should be at least the same as the individual prices and not more.
Yeah,
Correct.
Okay, so
That's-
let me put
it
this
doesn't
on
work
the
that
table.
way.
Our contract is providing HBO, Stars, Encore, and Epic.
Yeah, we know that.
And you're telling me I need more movies via
No.
Showtime?
No,
It's
in a
original
bundle they're
content
making.
out of Showtime.
I'm trying to make a point.
No, but
Stick
there's
with the
some like
contract.
right, but there
But
are
there are
shows that
some
people
that-
love on Showtime that they have to have.
But David, that's not the point. The point of the matter is the
billions
bundle
and-
she's making, what you just said, I couldn't in good conscience
Yeah.
recommend that to
You're right.
somebody to take.
Yes.
Because I'm going to itemize it out, figure the price, now I just did roughly, and I take 75 from 90 something, they're paying that difference for Showtime, that's insane.
Right,
Price them out individually and see what you're really offering,
yeah.
because that's how you have to look at
Well,
it.
and you know, Yuko should put it in a newspaper.
I will do that when we get
In a
this.
similar looking page as this.
Listen, in my column, I wrote about the
Yeah,
22,
I
you
know,
know
but more
that,
than,
but the new packages, we have to itemize it, we'll go through
But,
them,
you know, not
and
a
Nico will
right, but,
recommend.
you know, not a column, an actual
No.
page.
I know what you're saying, well,
Yeah.
we will.
Yeah.
We can do
I
that.
have the Amazon stick attached to my television set.
Do you have anything else?
Your
So
equipment's.
It's been a pretty neat meeting.
Just picked up with
I
the-
would
like,
entertain a
We just
motion.
changed the input.
Yeah, to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Melissa,
All right.
very much.
Thank you.
Melissa, thank you.
Choice, you had to come.
Marcel, thank you.
I was gonna say it to them, in case they thought.
Yes? Had no doubt, I had no doubt.
Melissa, you
I
couldn't
saw
pay me
many-
enough to do your job. And you do a wonderful job at it, but I can't believe that anybody would
Many
put
of-
up with.
I saw many of the residents at the HOA condo convention over at West Palm Convention Center.